Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the JSAUX cooling fans for the Switch 2. And this unit was sent to me by JSAUX to review and test. So thank you JSAUX for sending that. Everything else in the video was purchased with my own money, so just in case you're wondering for the cases, we're going to go through what this fan fits for different cases and the use case for this, and if it's something that you might want to add to your collection for accessories for the Switch 2. So if you do want to pick one of these up, I'll leave a link in the description through JSAUX, through Amazon, depending which way you want to go. But this is a unique unit that is able to actually clip onto the Switch. And so how you do it, and right now I have the Killswitch case on here, is you just clip the bottom like I did, and then you just line it up so that it fits right into the fan ports. Now you'll notice that it does actually fit with the Killswitch case. So you can't use the kickstand when you have the fan on, but you can use this little stand right here. So this is going to allow you to just sit it upright. You don't get much angle with this, but it is an option to at least make it stand up. So with this and the Killswitch case, you just have to turn this little knob. And when you turn that knob, you can start to hear the fan blowing. And that's going to crank up louder depending on how much you twist this. And this can last anywhere from 3 to 5 hours when it's fully charged. In order to charge this device, you can use the USB-C at the bottom here. And inside the box, they give you a USB-C to USB cable. So you can use this in just like a wall charger, regular brick. They also give you a 90-degree angle charge adapter, so you can use that too, plug that in here, and then charge that way. Also, if you want to just like use it to charge your Switch, because this is a charge port only, you can't dock with this part here. You can plug it in this way and then, you know, use a charger for your Switch at the same time that way. So you don't have to use it for just the fan. This does have multiple uses. Now it does block the dock, so you can't dock it with this on here. There's no pass through for the dock on here. There's nothing plugging into the bottom. It's just an open hook, as you can see. So you can only get access to the charge. Now what makes this really nice with the Killswitch case is the Killswitch case does not have any, you know, grips or anything around this fan port. So with this specific fan from JSAUX, it has a full seal around here. So it makes it sit extra nice with this case. And they did make it a little bit bigger so that you can use it with some cases, not all cases. So we will go through a few different cases here to give you an idea, but you essentially just want to line it up so that it's fitting nice and sealed in there. So when you turn it on, you're not feeling any air coming out of the sides here. It's all pulling out of here, and it's helping to keep it very cool inside your device so that you can play for longer. You're not running as high of temps. If you're having overheating issues in handheld mode, this will help with that. Now I have had this before with my Steam Deck. Back when I had a Steam Deck. I don't have a Steam Deck anymore, but I did have the JSAUX fan. It was identical almost to this, and it was awesome. And with the Steam Deck, you could actually see the degrees Celsius that it was improving for your temperature, and it's around 2 to 7 degrees depending on, you know, how much output the game is having for the device and how high you have this cranked for the fan. So there's a couple different factors. Now we can't really test that on the actual Switch unless we ran like some thermals and really did that work for the testing, but trust me when I say that this worked on the Steam Deck, and I can guarantee that they've done their research to make it work on this. And again, you can feel that cool air coming through, pulling out of the device. So if your Switch 2 is ramping up that heat, this is going to give you an option to help keep it cool, keep that performance stable. Now, if we don't have a case on it, it's going to fit perfect as well. It's not really necessarily meant for just having a case on it, but let's look at some other cases to see if they fit as well. So I have the Skull & Co. Savage Raven case. So you can see, as I mentioned, this one has the grips along the lines here. There's also just a little bit of an edge, so it doesn't quite lift all the way to the top. So you kind of want that when you're grabbing onto here to be able to be a little more flush, but ideally you want it completely flush to the Switch. So you could technically just cut these out or shave these off, and that would give you that perfect seal like the Killswitch case does. But if we're looking at actually putting it on, which I want to actually put it on for you, let's see what that looks like. All right, now I'm not going to pull out my Killswitch grips because they are taped in there, secure. I don't have issues with mine, in case you're wondering about that too. These ones have been perfect for me. They don't fall off my unit whatsoever. So when we line this up with the Savage Raven case and I hook it at the bottom, like it does fit inside the inside, but it's not flush. So that is a problem because you want it to be flush to work properly. And because it's not flush, I can feel just a little bit of air coming out from the sides, but it's not too bad. You'd still get some cooling on here, but probably not as much as you would get, you know, either not having a case on or having that Killswitch case, or a case that doesn't have those grooves on the inside that are, you know, just open. So this is how the Killswitch case is. You can see that it's completely open. It does still work though, so you can use it with this, but again, it's not as tight to the fans because you can see that there's that extra layer there, keeping it from being extra flush to this. So what I mean by extra flush is when you put this right on here, you can see that it is like locked in flush to where it needs to be. And that's where you're gonna get the most benefit, again, when you're not losing any air out of the sides. But again, you'd still get some cooling benefits using this case if you have that case and you want to get this one as well. So let's look at the PlayVital. And this is one of my favorite cases too, just from the style, like the trigger style grips. So even using this one, it's similar to how it reacts with the Skull & Co. So you can see that there is a little gap there where it's not sitting quite flush, and again, that's due to these just not having any ridges. So this one's even worse than how the Skull & Co. is, because this one's a little bit recessed and the PlayVital is not recessed at all. So from this one, not ideal to use with the fan, especially you have that little edge that comes out on the top here too, and that makes it not sit quite perfectly. I mean, it still does have a little bit of a cutout, but again, it's not perfect because we have that, you know, edge that's sticking out. All right, now going back to the Killswitch case, again, you can see it fits perfect on this thing. And again, it'll fit up perfect on a lot of different cases, especially if they're cut out like that and they have that slim edge on the side, because you can see that it's just riding nice and slim all the way through. There is, again, a little bit of space here for thicker cases and a little bit of space here for thicker cases, but you don't want to go too far up there because, again, you want that flush seal. So that's going to be the JSAUX fan. If you're wondering why there's the anti-glare on my screen, it is amazing. I love anti-glare screen protectors. This is also a JSAUX one, purchased with my own money. I always pick up the JSAUX anti-glare screen protectors for any of my devices. If I can get my hands on one of those, that's the first thing that goes onto my device because I love that anti-glare. And if you're wondering how the anti-glare looks, you know, from a pixelation standpoint, it's not bad at all. There, you know, sometimes on the whites you can see it just a little bit, but it looks still really good with the anti-glare. And I think the anti-glare itself is a bigger pro than a con for, you know, what you get with the whites, that, you know, a little bit of like crystallization on those. But the anti-glare, awesome. And this fan, really cool. If you want to pick one of those up, you can, again, get it at JSAUX or you can get it at Amazon. Again, links in the description. Thank you, JSAUX, for sending this to me. Very cool. I'm happy to have it with my Switch 2, cooling my device in handheld mode, my favorite way to play, and I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hopefully this helped you. If it did, hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and take care till the next one.